Hey, it's your girl, Nettie B.
And it's Rima L, and you are tuned in to the Sugar and Spouse podcast, where we'll discuss all the sugar, aka the tips and tricks to make your wedding planning journey a bit sweeter.
And don't forget the spouse, which are ways to keep that spark alive before and after the I-dos. We'll also highlight professional vendors. So without further ado, let's get into it.
You also want to make like that plan, like you said, Rima, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when you're making this financial plan, you want to think of splurge items. That's the way I did it because I'm not super rich. But it's like, okay, what is something that we are going to throw most of our money at, or like something like a big ticket item that we're not going to really like, we're going to take from other parts of the budget to make happen. That's a must. Or you put a lot of into it. So for example, some people are like, what's so important to me is the food. I will pay top dollar for the food. Yeah, I could go somewhere and get this for like $60 a plate, but no, I want top shelf and we're going to pay $200 a plate or whatever because this is important. Or I'm also going to have like the dessert tower and this and that because that's what they're important. So in exchange, they probably won't do the fancy chairs, or they might have a more simple decor. So
like cut back on something else so that way you get these must-haves. Or if you've been following a certain videographer, photographer, decorator, and you're like, I need this person the day of my wedding. And depending on what they charge, you might have to cut back on other things in order to get what you want.
Even change your venue, anything. Another do you remember that show, David Tutera show?
Yes, I do. On TLC?
On TLC. All right, if you guys are listening or watching and you don't know what I'm talking about, David Tutera is like this huge wedding planner, right? And I think he has a line in Michael's of like a
wedding accessories
crafts
and stuff.
Anyway, he was like super hot stuff, and he had his whole show where he would come and save brides and grooms and people last minute and just give them the fairy tale dream of their life, right? Like dream wedding, no budget, like just go crazy. And I'll always remember, I'll never forget, I don't know why, because this bride was so fly. So she had a decent budget, right? But she had nothing. It was coming close, and she was like
close to the wedding date?
Closer to, like, it was looking like the wedding was, she was having a hard time. She was like, help us, we're spiraling.
Okay.
Because she had spent like 90% of the budget on her dress and shoes.
I guess that was really important to her then.
It was really important, but it was fire because, guys, you can do that. Dresses can go tens of thousands of dollars. And I'm not gonna lie, the dress and shoe was fire. She looked nice, but she had nothing else.
Where was she wearing it to? Man, well.
Yeah. I mean, it was, anyway, attire is one of the splurge items you guys can have. If you guys think, oh no, I need to be head to toe. I need that Berta gown. I need that Instagram gown. I need this.
Absolutely. Or if you have a venue that you've been, I don't know, just dreaming about, definitely make arrangements to make it happen. And another tip also with budgeting, there's some things that you can pay in installments. I believe your dress, the venue, the florist. And when you do these things, you definitely want to ask for an invoice after each payment. And you want to keep track of how much you're paying and what the remaining balance is. I know when we were looking at our venue, we definitely kept asking for the invoices, and up to the last payment, they tried to give us a quote that was a bit more than we knew it wasn't mathing with the invoices that we had.
Oh, so see, and that's on bookkeeping.
So I'm like, excuse me, no, I have the last invoice and it says our final balance is blah, 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 blah. So luckily I asked for those as I was getting them because I wouldn't have had that proof to say that number is inaccurate.
Oh, that's a really good tip.
You heard it here.
So people who wiggle invoices are also wedding planners, which in the basics of wedding planning, you guys want to decide if you guys are going to go that route. We did a whole episode getting into that, diving deep, and you guys should check it out. It's from season 1.
Episode 4.
Thank you. And setting the date or date range. Now, obviously, if you're just starting to talk or just starting this conversation, you might not know the exact date you want to get married, or you may, but you really want to, guys, talk about that and set it, because that would definitely set the tone of everything else. It's like just as important as your guest count as far as the impact on budget.
Absolutely, yes, because depending on the day you get married, the venue will charge a different fee. When we were getting married in 2019, Thursdays was starting to become the more popular day that people were getting married, but it was still on the cheaper end than Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So now I think it's becoming more popular, so it might be a bit higher than it was back then, but do consider the day of the week you're getting married, because that will definitely change the price point of the per person price, or maybe the venue overall fee.
And the time of day is definitely something. So if you get married earlier in the day, it'll pretty much be cheaper. Usually venues, people want to get married after work or like later in the evening, have like a later ceremony. So those times are in high demand. But if you're doing like a brunch thing or like a breakfast wedding or something really early, you can totally save there, and that does impact your budget.
Yeah, when you go, I believe they're called twilight hours or something like that. So if they don't mention to you, oh, we have these twilight packages, you can ask them about it. Like, hey, do you offer any twilight packages? And 9 times out of 10 they do, but they probably don't want to tell it because you can get more money at a nighttime wedding. So
this is true.
Have that in your bag of tricks when you go to these venues and checking them out. Also, with dates, you want to keep in mind special dates. So venues to monopolize on these special dates like 11, 12, 13, November 12, 2013, just because of the ring of it, 11, 12, 13, or 12, 23, 23, or something of that sort. Things that kind of like show a consecutive pattern, they upcharge on those days, which I learned on my little adventure, because our wedding date is 9/19/19, and we went to one venue and told them that was our day, and he said, "Oh wow, we missed that one." And I was like, "What do you mean you missed it?" And that's what he said. He's like, "Yeah, we usually upcharge on those special sounding days."
Woo! That's cold-blooded,
isn't it?
And the season dictates your budget as well. And also it dictates your vibe as well. So you can go to a venue, and if you're seeing it in the summertime and it has all these beautiful flowers, and then but you're getting married in the fall or the winter, and the flowers that made you fall in love are not there. That's something to consider.
Talk about it. That was me. We checked out our venue and they had these beautiful floral arrangements, and I asked, like, hey, we're getting married in September. Is this the floral arrangement in September? And they're like, yeah, it should be. We got there the day of the wedding. It was all mums.
Mums are pretty.
When I thought I was going to get a different floral arrangement, I did not want to see those mums.
You already had this whole other vision.
Absolutely.
Like, what is happening?
Yes. And aside from the venue, depending on when you decide to get married, also with your florist can impact how much your flowers will be. Because if you have like a vision of like white roses or calla lilies, and you're getting married in December, when those flowers aren't really in bloom or in season, it's going to be more expensive because now they have to import them from wherever they are in season.
That's a good call. And also there are high seasons and low seasons for weddings. So like typically most people get married in May, June, July, right? April, May, June, all of that time, right after graduation, all those are usually when it's super booked. I don't know if this is true, but I'm starting to feel like the winter months are getting more popular fall weddings is becoming very popular. So just keep an eye out. Still don't think it beats the summer time because people don't have to work. There's more vacations, but still.
That's true. Yeah. When we were looking for facts and did you know type of things, it mentioned that June is the most popular month for weddings. And that's closely followed by August and September.
Yeah. I mean, September is a good sweet spot because if you live in a place that has 4 seasons, you don't, or like more than one season, the summer is usually, here in the United States, like the summer is usually like cooling down, and then it's not cold yet,
right?
But it's still, you can still get a nice hot day, but not too hot. So it does work out.
It's like a happy medium.
It's a perfect. It's like, oh, love is in the air. I love it. And then if you want to do fall, you can still do fall though.
Yes, and all of these tips is, I know we're talking about a lot with venues, but even if you plan to elope, some of these things can impact you as well. I did see like some people are eloping in maybe state parks or public parks and things like that. I'm not sure if you need permits for those things. I would assume you would. But, depending on the season and what's happening, that can impact pricing or if you're able to do it at those times.
And for you folks that are eloping, there's this really cool company called Simply Eloped, where they handle all of those permits and things like that for you. So they won't do the reception piece, but the ceremony piece, they'll be able to help you. And they are located like throughout the whole country and all the hot spots. And so you can get married in these places. It's public, so you won't have like a private ceremony, but you won't have to worry about those permits and things like that.
Oh, that's amazing. That's a big help.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So I guess with all of that being said, whether you're eloping or if you're getting a venue or destination, I think it's a good tip to have at least maybe like your top 3 dates, just in case the date that you guys are looking into is fully booked wherever you plan to go. You can have a backup in case maybe that date might be open if one of the other 2 dates aren't, and you're not disappointed, and you can still get the venue you want to have it at.
Yeah, and it's easier when you go to vendors and venues, when you have 3 dates to give them off the bat, then they can just give you information right away. And you don't have to worry, and you can probably pounce on dates earlier because you know what you want already coming in, and they're like, yeah, that's actually open, and then you'll be the first on the list for everything. So it's pretty good to have the dates in mind. Yeah,
that'd be better. And it's like they're more accommodating that way instead of you going home and thinking like, okay, well, this date will work, and now it's gone. So like hotcakes, those dates, and they don't hold them dates for anything. They might let you know like, okay, well, we'll give you some time, but if someone else comes along, we're gonna have to give it to whoever puts that deposit down.
Oh yeah, the deposit's serious. But another tip though, besides the deposits, are to create separate emails for all these wedding related things and organize your files. So, when you're corresponding with these venues and these vendors talking about the dates, you don't want to flood your personal email address or the email that you use for everything else. It's going to be difficult. And when you sign up for all these free trials, for all these like wedding stuff, you don't have to be spammed forever in your email address. So.
I wish I knew that tip because I'm getting videographer quotes and all kind of things to this day.
Years
later, I'm still getting the, hey, look at this special. It's like, I'm not getting married anymore, guys. So that is a good tip.
It also worked really well too for your fiance to also have access and visibility to things that are happening as well. So you guys can just be on the same page, send it straight to that.
That's so smart. So now you both are in the know because you both are on the email account, versus it's like, hey, when is this? What's happening here?
Yeah.
Check
or
it out.
you see a vendor say something crazy, you already there, you see it too. So
Exactly. Yeah.
it's good.
Yeah, and speaking of venue vendors, whatever you decide to do when you're thinking of these third-party professionals who are going to assist in making your day as magical as you want it to be, you want to do your research. Definitely do your research. Check out Wedding Wire, The Knot, Google review. You definitely want to see how this person performs, their professionalism, and see how other brides and grooms encountered them during their weddings.
Yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to a bride if you see them on Instagram. I know it's a little weird. The worst they can do is just not answer you, but reach out and ask for their opinion. Like, oh, I see you booked this person. How was it? I'm getting married.
Or like at this venue, how was it? Did they treat you nice?
Yeah, was it? Yeah, all those things. And when you are doing research, you also want to consider if you can visit the venues or meet with the vendors personally before you book them. Not like even on a video chat, like consultation, to see if you guys have that vibe. And to see, just a little taste before you're too far down the road with them.
Yes, absolutely. I will definitely vouch for that one. You always want to have a consultation with the professionals that you're booking for your wedding or considering to book for your wedding, because I don't know about you, but I have to fill out your vibe if we're going to work together. So if we meet for that consultation and it's just like, this doesn't seem like a match, in my opinion, there's no way there's going to be like that type of chemistry the day of my wedding, where it's like you kind of sense the type of bride that I am. You kind of get the vibe of what kind of photos I want or the realm of how I want my video to be. So definitely test the waters out with those consultations.
Yeah. And another site to look at is Reddit. Just Google, when you're Googling, whatever you say, I want to know wedding flowers in DC. Reddit. Chances are you're going to find someone who experienced it firsthand, or a lot of stuff that can help you. A lot of people put all their information out there. So
absolutely. Yes. And with all of this, we're in the age of technology. You're not alone. If you want, you can look into some fun apps that can help you get through some of this planning for your wedding.
Yes.
So
what's the first app?
We looked into a few. The first one that came across my screen here was an app called Pocketbook. So this is a budgeting app. Apparently, this is to stop you from going over your budget. So it's very easy to get caught up in Pinterest and seeing these beautiful things and wanting to, be tempted to go over your budget a bit to get what you want. But with this app, I believe you put in your finances and it kind of just give you that understanding of what can work and what doesn't work in order to help save you money.
That is really cool.
I wish I knew. I wish I knew.
I wish I did. I wish I had the discipline to also fill it out too.
Yeah, because everything you have to sign in nowadays. You have to create accounts. But with this saving you some money, especially during wedding planning, I think it's a good try. You can take the risk of signing up.
Yeah, not signing up, but actually putting my finances in. I'll put it in, and I'm like, I know this is gonna go over budget. Maybe I just won't add it in there.
No, you have to have discipline. You have to be disciplined, okay? You have to be disciplined in order to get the results.
That's true. This is a great. I really wish I had this app. That's really cool. Another cool app is around floral arrangements called Like That Garden. So if you ever seen pictures of flowers that you really like, you just take a picture of it and the app will tell you what that is called, and it also suggests flowers that are similar, and it makes it really easy for you to communicate to your florist, because now you can tell them like, this, I want this flower. You're going to sound really smart, and you and your florist will be in hand in hand. And now that's what I wish I had.
Same.
Because I know jack doodly squat about flowers.
Nothing at all. Like when I went there, I showed the picture from Pinterest. I said, I need something to look like this. And she's like, oh, this is a la 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 rose. And I'm like, what kind of rose is that? I just thought it was just rose. And she goes, no, there's this for rose and that type of rose. And this rose blossoms like this. I had no idea what any of this meant. So this definitely is a good app to go and explore before you go to the florist.
Yes. So those are some pretty cool apps to use. I'm sure there's like a million more, but I think both Rima and I would have loved to know about these. Absolutely. We were planning ours.
Absolutely. One app to save me money and the other app to make me a floral whiz when I went to my florist. And it could probably save you money too, because apparently there's some flowers that look similar and some are more expensive than others, but they look the same.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to be the budget girl again, so I didn't say it.
It's okay. That's who you are.
Those apps are cool. And I have one last really important basic that you guys should know. And it's called delegation. Delegate all these tasks. All you have to do is remember to delegate. And after you have created your vision, you've hired your vendors, you set your ground rules with your fiance, it's time to make sure that you have other people around you to help and they know what to do. You don't have to do every single thing.
Yep, you don't have to take it on all by yourself. This is what you have your tribe for. Your family is here for that, your friends, your bridal tribe. And if it becomes too overwhelming, it's okay to have a little girl chat, a guy chat, whoever's in your team, and say, look, I'm overwhelmed. Can anyone assist me with ABC? Can you look into this? Can you look into videographers? Can you look for florists? And, hopefully your tribe pulls through.
I know my tribe pulled me through. I didn't think about this. The delegating task, I just didn't think to do until very wire lasted a minute. And they pulled in for me. And I really should have said something earlier or spoke up earlier.
But it's understandable though, because you don't want to put that burden on your tribe. But they are there to help.
They are there to help, and it doesn't have to be financially.
Emotionally,
It doesn't just saying, "Oh yeah, you're my bridal party. You have to pay for my florals." No, that's not delegating tasks.
No.
No, that's not how that goes.
No. Believe it or not, there are some brides who delegate financial wedding tasks. Please keep in mind, this is your day, not the bridal party's day. So the only thing they're responsible for is making sure that they're up to par the day of the wedding and send you on a nice bachelor trip somehow, or a bachelor night out to celebrate you before the nuptials. But they don't pay for flowers unless they want to give it as a gift. Your videographer, favors, that's not their responsibility.
No, do not do those things. Now you could probably use them to make some centerpieces. You get all the materials and then they come and they put it together. Maybe that's that type of work. But no,
DIY party, sure.
Yeah, it's not appropriate, and even that has its limits. But you could, an example of delegation in that piece would be maybe delegate finding, delegate the planning the party by party to one bridesmaid who knows how to do this, or they help you find the materials, stuff like that.
There you go. This is our first half of wedding planning, and it's a good basics. These are the good basics to get you started.
Yes. This foundation, when we dig into the nitty gritty, you guys will be ready. So.
Absolutely. Yes. Speaking of getting ready, it's time for our sweet tunes. So you guys know what it is. We're not going to play this every episode. You know what it is. This is when we give you those songs to get your wedding playlist right.
Yes.
All right. So, Nettie, this week, what was your pick?
So my pick this week is called I See You by Coco Jones. It's a really romantic song. I love it. It's very new neo soul-y. Coco Jones has a beautiful voice. Watch the video. The visuals are everything. But it just solidifies like relationship stuff and just being in love with your partner.
Nice.
Really great song. I can picture this being played during the cocktail hour, or when you guys are waiting for, the ceremony to begin. So, or even walking down the aisle. So.
Nice. All right, so this week I chose Yeba Heartbreak by Drake. So I heard this song when actually my husband was editing I guess it was an engagement video. This couple, they was having a Harlem type of theme to their wedding, and they carried it through from this engagement video up until they left their wedding reception, and it was beautiful. This song gives like a nice soulful, jazzy Harlem Nights kind of vibe, so it was a perfect fit for that. And lyrically, it's talking about love and being for someone else, and I think it's a perfect fit for any aspect of the wedding.
Well, these songs sound amazing. I would like to be at a wedding where either one of these songs are being played.
Yeah, hopefully people check it out. It's listed right there for you on Apple and our YouTube playlist. Check it out.
Check it out. So we have come the road I can't let go.
It's the sugar and spice.
It's the wrap up time.
Here we are right now. Yes. So today's sugar, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. All right? Strategize and do your research before you commit and sign those contracts. All right, guys?
I love it. And today's spouse is remember your ground rules when things get tough. Because it's supposed to be in the trenches. So
that's right.
So that's it for this episode, guys.
Yes, we hope you guys enjoyed it. Don't forget, you guys can tune in for the full episode on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and catch our snippets on YouTube.
Exactly. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.